Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bright and Dusty, all about cross stitching. This is Rosanna, and this is going to be a flip through stash video for vintage cross stitch patterns and some kits. So the camera will be pointing down like this so you can see the patterns a little bit better. And I know I said I was going to do one of these a few weeks ago, but it really has just been too hot for me to think about doing much of anything. So we did finally uh, get into some more reasonable temperatures today. So I thought I would just start filming this flip through. And this is going to be quite a wide variety of things. It's not really a theme or anything. Mostly it is patterns that I found over the course of the summer in various either like thrift shops, because I took some trips to Pennsylvania and I was able to pick up a few things. And then I know I have made some online purchases as well for some vintage stuff like this one I bought on eBay. So I'm just gonna go through and hopefully you find something to inspire you. The other thing I'm doing is reorganizing my craft room. So I'm just kind of going to film this as I'm in the process of doing that because I'm also reorganizing all of my cross stitch so that it's a little more streamlined. I have a better system going and my stuff is not scattered all over the place because that has been starting to stress me out a little bit just how how disorganized I have become with all of my patterns and stuff. So I'm just going to get into it. This is Lord Melton, the Stitching Dragon by Fanta Cat Designs. As I said, I got this one on eBay. Um, and it is a dragon who is stitching a dragon. So I just thought this was too cute to pass up. You can see his pattern here. He's holding his pattern by the tail, by his tail. And then down here is what he is actually stitching, which is a picture of a dragon. So that is really adorable and fun, and I'm hoping I will get to this at some point. Here is The Gardener's Haven by Barbara Mock. So very colorful. This is a dimensions leaflet. A beautiful summer pattern. Lots going on. Lots of flowers and a lot of birdhouses too, which is really cute. This one I recently rediscovered in my stash. It's called Chickadee Christmas. And I pulled it out and I was like, wow, that is gorgeous. Um, it's the sort of thing I'm not even really sure I really noticed it initially because I had gotten this in a lot a long time ago, but those colors are so vibrant. So this is one of those custom crafts brand. This one's interesting. It's called The Quaker Gone Spooky. So this is like a Halloween one, but it's really neat because the Quaker motifs are the headstones in this graveyard, which is a really cool idea. I do love this design. It's by Michelle Ink Needlework. I will say the quality of the pattern is not the greatest because I can show you a little snippet here. It's like the symbols are extremely tiny. I think it would be doable once I blow it up with my iPad or something. But yeah, just be aware. Very, very tiny. This is one I got on eBay. This is Santa Baby by Terrence Nolan under the brand Dimples Designs. This pattern is from 1997. And I just could not pass this up. It is, one of the cutest things I've ever seen. I will point out, like up in the corner here, it says can be stitched with or without Santa hat. And yeah, if you look at the pattern, it's provided both ways. But I just thought this was really funny because the day I stitch this without the Santa hat is the day I've been abducted by aliens and switched with a body double because there is no way I would ever stitch this without the Santa hat. Um yeah, it's like the whole reason I bought this is because of the Santa hat. So this designer is out of print, but he had a lot of really, really cool patterns like insects and stuff. I think they're kind of hard to find now, but they pop up on eBay. This is one that I had found it as a full kit at a thrift store. It's called Cabin Sweet Cabin by Bobby G Designs. And for some reason, I de-kitted it and I put the floss in my stash. I don't really know why I did that, and now I'm regretting it because as I take another look at this, I do think I will want to stitch it someday. And that is a really cute bear. And I have several other patterns by Bobby G Designs. I have a really nice Christmas ornament kit. So they have a lot of really cute stuff. This one I was really thrilled to find on eBay. This is the Ship of Life. It's by the Needle Love Company. You can see up here. And I had seen somebody stitching it on Instagram. That's the first time I had seen it, and I just fell in love with it. I think it's so cute. You do have a little whale over here, but all you can see is his tail, which is adorable. And then the ship has a lot of detail. There's a cute little lighthouse over here. So once I had seen it on Instagram, I set up an eBay alert just in case it popped up. And eventually it did, and I was able to snag it. So I am planning to get a start on this one pretty soon. I don't want to just forget about that one because I really wanted it. This is one I picked up in that estate sale a couple months ago. Angel of Fantasy by Barbara Botts. And yeah, there's a few different angels. I have two of them, but I know that there's more. And they're all this really colorful style. This one's my favorite because it has a peacock. But she's beautiful. The other one I have is the Angel of Peace. So this one has a lion and some sheep. And she's playing a violin, which is kind of cool. Okay, here is one by Kathy Barrick, Mother Nature. This would be a fantastic one to start around Halloween. I love this crescent moon. I love everything about this one, actually. Rabbits, birds, that beautiful lady in the middle. So I would love to get a start on that. This is Victorian Treasures by Cross My Heart. Um, yeah, I suspect that this this flower basket stitched up would look incredible, especially like they show it on the black background here. Um, that one really stands out to me. But I also love the peacock. And you get a lot of other ones too. And I think the stuff on the back is the same. They do show the flowers on a white background. I prefer it on the black. I got some more hummingbirds. These ones are by Sam Hawkins. And you get a lot of different ones here. Uh, the reason I got this one is because of the hummingbird in the center, because it's in a nest, which you don't see very much. And I just think it's really cute. But these other ones are pretty too. Here is one. Somebody had shown this on one of their Flosstube videos, and I went and got it on eBay because I just thought this was so beautiful. Especially this one with those big irises in the front. So the designer is Con Baker Gibney. That lady with the lavender dress is also really nice. On the back, you get some more. These are more like garden style. I love this one with the cherub statue in the middle. And then over here, if you look closely, there's a swan, which is really nice. So then I really started going down the Black Swan Designs rabbit hole because I started a Christmas stocking by them maybe a month ago, called Dragons by the Fire. And ever since then, I've just been really into this designer. This is one I found that is it's called Hummingbird Floral. And you can see it's a beautiful flower design, but it has these two hummingbirds in the corners. And the colors here are really vibrant. So I have plans to do a lot of hummingbirds in the next few years, so I might incorporate this into that project. So here's another Black Swan Designs. This one's Halloween themed. It's called Boo Hoo Hoo. So you got the jack-o'-lantern starting out at the top of the stairs here. And it's like they're having a party or something because there's confetti. Then in the central panel, it looks like the bat decides to attack the pumpkin. So the pumpkin falls down the stairs. And then at the end, we have the jack-o'-lantern is smashed into pieces, and the little bat has taken his spot up here. So I don't know. This is just so weird and fun. And I also, I feel like it tells a story. All good cross stitch should tell a story. But I love that one. Here is Merrick, Wizard of the Sea. I think this one is a little bit harder to find than some of the others. But you can see it is this very detailed wizard with a dolphin and then fish and coral. So I have a lot of wizard patterns, but this one is now one of my favorites. Because I don't know, I've never seen another under the sea wizard like that. And I think this is the last one I brought out. This is a Christmas one. It's called Seven Swans. So, snowman with a hat, and then there's the black swans, which it looks like there's five of them. There's a white swan, and then there's also like a swan charm here, which I would have to supply that myself, I guess. I think it's really pretty, and then the border really stands out to me. It's got these icicles. I don't know, it's very cool. A really intricate design. So those were all by Black Swan Designs, who is Karen Weaver. Okay, I found a couple of like Imaginating kits when I was thrifting. Here's one of them. This is the baskets. Uh, yeah, I like the color palette in this one. Great for fall. That is a lot of baskets though. I have stitched one Imaginating design, and I have noticed that they are very stitch heavy. There's a lot of block stitching. So this was a full kit, which is nice. Here's another one. Um, yeah, this one's called Wine. A little. I'm not really into the whole like, you know, the pun between wine and wine. But I did buy this just because, I could use this charm for something else, and then I could also use like the linen and stuff. So I picked it up. Here's a cute one I found out thrifting. Heart of the Country is not a designer I'm familiar with, but it seems kind of similar to like Told in a Garden or Lavender and Lace, that type of thing. This one features three women. One is stitching on like a frame, one is knitting, and then one is using a spinning wheel. So I kind of like that all like different crafts are represented. And yeah, I only paid 40 cents for this, so I definitely picked it up. The symbols are hand drawn, so this would be a challenge. This one I got on eBay because yeah, I had wanted this for a while. I had seen it finished on a Sarah Stitchy Spot channel. This is called Ursilia's Sampler. So I just happened to find it on eBay, but the place where you can get this pattern is the Attic Needle Workshop. I think you have to call them and like order it. But yeah, I have a couple of red samplers that I'm doing right now, so I'm not starting this immediately, but I do plan to start it in the future. Here's kind of a random Christmas leaflet. There is a lot of stuff in here though. It's called Merry Christmas and it's by Cross My Heart. The reason I got it is because, first of all, I really like this bird with the berries here. Like, that's super, super cute. And then this one with the rabbit in the snow. That one really stands out to me. I like that. But you do get a lot of stuff in here. And I think everything on the back is pretty much the same. Here is a Coca-Cola vintage leaflet. This is from 1995. So it's got kind of the classic Coca-Cola designs on here. I like this Diet Coke one. I don't know. I picked this up. I do drink a lot of Diet Coke, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't know if I would stitch any of these. Maybe. This is kind of a random one. It's Stardust called Angel Dog. So the designer for Stardust is Linda Cotilia. Not sure how you say that, but this is one of their smaller designs, and it's very cute. Um, Angel Dog. This would be a nice memorial stitch. I feel like. I was really excited to find this book. This is the Heirloom Christmas Stockings cross stitch book by Better Homes and Gardens. Um, so it has a bunch of these stockings that were originally in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. You can see in the table of contents, you get a lot of them. And even though I have a lot of these patterns in the magazines, I really like this book because like the quality of the patterns when they printed it in the book is a little bit better than it is in the magazines. So it's just a little the pattern's a little bit more clear to read. So I was happy to get this. The one I really want to stitch is the music room stocking because I want to do that for my husband Andrew, and that's what that one looks like. So eventually I am planning to get around to this. I'm working on one Christmas stocking right now, Dragons by the Fire, but after I make more progress on that, I would feel better about getting a start on this one. Oh, and yeah, you can see on the back cover, they give you all the pictures for the different stockings. So yeah, there's a lot of them. This one I got on eBay after I saw someone show it in their Flosstube video. This is called Needle Treasures. The title is A Different Drummer. So I just like this because it has a really spooky vibe. I think when I stitch it, I would leave out the little poem or quotation or whatever it is because I don't really think it matches with the design. To me, this is a spooky design, and then the quotation is not very spooky. So I would leave that part out, but I do like the rest of it. So this is a full kit, and it wasn't expensive. I mean, I think you can get this one pretty affordably. This is the Omnibook of Winged Things. So this is one of those Jeanette Cruz Designs Omnibooks. You get a lot of patterns in here. They're all very different. The only thing they have in common is that everything has wings. Of course, I love the Pegasus here. Um, but you also get birds, fairies. You get a griffin. Actually, there's two griffins. There's this griffin, and then there's one up there, the blue one. Um, there is this like little jar with moths and insects, and I was thinking maybe I could start this for the moth along if I get my act together in the next few days because I have another one I'm going to start for the moth along, which I'm hosting with Jacinta from Crafting on the Plains. We're starting August 20th. So I already have one I'm going to start, but if I could kit this in the next few days and get that started, I might do that. So, and then on the back, it shows some more designs that you get. Flying cows, those are really cute. Hummingbirds, eagle, airplanes. Yeah, this is like a lot of stuff. There's another angel dog, Canada geese. Yeah, there's a lot. This I was super excited to find out thrifting in Pennsylvania. This is Christmas on the Beach. It is a Dimensions Petite kit. This is one that I had almost bought on eBay a few times, but now I'm glad that I found it out thrifting. So I'm not sure when I'm going to start this, but I definitely want to stitch this. And yeah, it was complete, which is nice. Yeah, I think it was that same thrifting excursion I found this. So this is a Treasured Thoughts by Dimensions. It's called, the title of it is Your Dreams. So this was open, it had the pattern inside, but um the crazy thing is that it also had the finished piece inside. So I'm thinking I'm going to turn this into a pillow. I'm just going to cut off the edge with the masking tape and then turn it into a pillow because it's really pretty. The stitching is nice, really nice on it. And I do love Pegasus. So, yeah, I don't have to stitch this one because it was already in there. This is another Imaginating kit I found. It's called A Friend Remembers, and it's got these really pretty flowers. Um, yeah, the main reason I picked this up is because it was really inexpensive, and then, like, you get all of the buttons with it. So these morning glories, and then a bird. So I was like, well, I can definitely use those, even if I, never end up stitching this. I could use the buttons for something. So I was happy to pick this up. This kit is called French Lavender by Catherine White. This is Dimensions. And that lavender is lovely. The fabric that it comes with is an Aida, and these things on the edge are printed onto it. So you can see, well, actually I don't know exactly what's printed on there. Part of it is printed. But, if I was going to stitch it, I think I would just do the middle and not even use that fabric, honestly. But that's very pretty. I found one of these Good Huswife. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Designs. These are out of print. This isn't the best photo ever. It's like kind of in shadows, but I like the color palette here. I think this would be fun. So it's called Maddie Graves Quilt 1826. Here's another Dimensions leaflet by Donna Barton, and it's called Summer Dreams. This one is my favorite because it has those swans in the pond. So I love that. And then you also get these garden patterns. I found a couple by Barbara and Cheryl. This one's called Morning Light. So that's amazing. That also looks like there's not really that much backstitching. Probably some, but it doesn't look like there's much. It is full coverage. And then the other one I found is called Spring Splendor, also by Barbara and Cheryl. So a nice little cityscape type thing. I know that Stitchin' Books, the Flosstube channel, she has been showing a lot of Barbara and Cheryl on her channel, and I think she has one as a whip. So if you like this style, I would check out her channel. She has shown a lot of these in her past couple videos, I believe. All right, I just have a few more, and then I'm gonna pause this and maybe resume later on if I if I get my stash in order. This is Vera K Enterprises, and it's called the Calico Cat. And I also have the dog here. So once again, these are like from the 80s. They're hand drawn symbols, but they're really zany. I mean, that cat is like, I don't know, it's really cute. So here is the dog, the gingham dog. Yeah, so kind of unusual. Here is the last one. Oh, actually, let's do two more. Okay. Here is the little cross stitch purses. This is by Barbara Bots. I was happy to pick this up on eBay. You get a lot of different purse designs. So it's just something a little different. So I am planning to stitch the peacock one, and then on the back here I want to do the unicorn. So yeah, you get a lot of different designs here. I think I'd probably start with the unicorn. There's that cute squirrel though. That's really cute. And then this one with the flowers is nice. So I was lucky enough. The person who was selling this included, you know, some handles to secure the cross stitch to, so you can actually make it into a purse. So I have a few of those, so I can get started whenever. All right, here's the last one I'll show for now. This is Mary Engelbrite. It's a full kit. It's called No Place Like it's called There's No Place Like Home. The nice thing about this is that it comes with the fancy mat with all the flowers. So that would be very easy to finish and just make it look really nice. Yeah, and it's a really cute design with that cottage. I think this is the first Mary Engelbrite kit I've ever found. I do have a Christmas book by her, a cross stitch Christmas book, and there is a really, really cute reindeer in there. I might show that eventually. But all right, that's all I'm gonna do for now. I'll see how long this video is, and I'll decide if I want to add more or not. Um, all right. All right, it's a new day, so my lighting might be a little bit different, but I'm gonna resume this flip through with, I'll just do the one magazine that I found. Then I have a few kits, and then I will go through some of the cat patterns I got from that estate, because I still haven't gone through those yet. But this magazine is really nice. It's Treasures in Needlework, and the date on it is winter 1992. So I just happened to find this one at an antique mall. Um, and there were just some nice things in here. Let me try to flip through to the main designs. There's this one called the Bountiful Earth. So that's full coverage mostly. Let's see. Okay, these ones are really cool. I'll try to get rid of the glare. Storybook Animals. And they provide these two. There's the rabbit and the goose. I would love to stitch that goose someday. And there's the rabbit. There's other ones in this series, but they're not provided in the magazine. That's what they look like. Squirrel and the pig. So I'm not totally sure who the designer of these are. But they are so cute. All right, let me. Okay, then they have a few articles. Oh, they do like a designer spotlight about Eileen Bennett. I don't really know who that is, but that's kind of interesting. Because I guess she did reproduction samplers and stuff. All right, here's another full design they have in here, the Spanish sampler. This looks really cool. It does have a lot of specialty stitches, it looks like. But really beautiful design. Let me see. All right, so this was the one that was on the cover, the Medieval Nativity. So a nice one for Christmas. Oh, I love these ones. So it's these birds, and they provide all four of them. Or wait, there's a cardinal too. I think they provide all of them in here. But these are really pretty. I think my favorite might be this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they provide all of those. This is just some ornaments. So again, looks like there are some specialty stitches involved. A lot of metallic thread. And I think that might be all for this magazine. Yeah, the rest is just kind of ads and stuff. So that was a really neat publication. Yeah, it says from the publishers of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. So I wonder if this was just like a special edition, but very nice. Um, I have never tried embroidery like this, but I did find this pattern and I thought this Santa was really pretty. So I don't know. I might give it a shot. Um, Bird Brain Designs Santa Claus Doorstop is what it's called. Yeah, that was a thrifting find. Now I have a few kits. I found these early in the summer when I was traveling down to Pennsylvania. Flowers of Friendship by Busilla. So, yeah, it says down here adapted from the artwork of Jane Shasky. So, tons of detail here. That is a lot of flowers with looks like a lot of backstitching. And there's what the colors look like. This one is an RTO, which I haven't ever tried that brand, so this will be new for me. But I'm excited. I really like these roses. The kit is called Romantic Roses. And it's kitted with DMC. So you can see the colors, and this is how they organize their floss. So I think this will be fun. This one I actually bought new. I really wanted this one. Happily Ever After by Dimensions. Yeah, I was visiting my parents. My hometown where I grew up has this. It's almost like a general store, I want to say, but it does have a lot of crafting supplies, and they sell dimensions kits. They have like a whole rack of them. So, when I'm in town, I just kind of stop in. They had this one, and I had seen this online, and I really love it. So I would love to stitch this for my husband and me. And there's the colors. All right, that's all the kits I brought out. Now I'll get into some patterns. These are going to be very cat centric. Because I bought an estate lot of patterns a few months ago, and there was a lot of cats. So this is one of the cats, Shenanigans Whiskers. And I believe Shenanigans is part of the Just Nan brand. So this cat is really cute. And Yeah, so let's see, it's kitted in Whisper and then DMC. So I would probably just substitute the Whisper for something else, just regular floss or something. But yeah, and then there is the companion bunny. This one's called Rosie Rabbit. So similar idea. And this one is kitted in something called Alpaca Rainbow Gallery. So I don't know what those are. And Pearl Cotton. So again, this might require some like conversion. I don't even know, the story about those alpaca fibers, but it's kind of interesting. Needle and Fred, Zoom Zoom. This is just a really cute, like, quick stitch. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stitch it though because I looked inside and the crescent colors are in there. So I already have the fancy floss to be able to do this, and it looks like it would be pretty quick. So I think I will stitch this one. But yeah, I've never heard of Needle and Fred. Most of these are from the early 2000s, I would say. This the lady, the estate that I bought, she had a lot of patterns pulled from magazines and then put in some plastic sleeves like this. So this is one of them. And it's from Cross Stitch and Needlework, August 1997. So it's a cat at the window, but I do love the colors in this. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. Calico critters. There's a lot in here. There's this cat and the dog. Then there's also, let's see. Yeah, there's all these. The mouse, the cow, the butterfly, the turtle, the frog. So this style is just so, 70s. But I love it. I think my favorite is probably the cow. I think I show the cow two ways, like different colors inside. Um, oh yeah, they show like the dog and the cat different colors. Uh, and then the cow, a purple version. There's that mouse. And yeah, the pattern, is pretty easy to read. It's not bad. And then this is a snail. Okay, I think that's it for that one. So Calico Critters from yours truly. This is a really weird one. I had shown this on an Instagram story just because it was so weird. It is called the Red Hot Bikini. And then all it says is Lynn's Prince presents designs by Jamie Perry. The Red Hot Bikini. So it's, I don't know. This just kind of speaks for itself. I don't think I really have to describe it. This is so wild. Um, this is one of the strangest patterns I've ever seen. but I'm pretty sure the symbols are hand drawn on this. So, I don't know. Here's some more cats. This one's really cute. Silvery Moon. The designer is Ladybug Lane. And this one did come with the little heart charm. So, I could add that in. I do like patterns that have moons, so I am tempted to do this someday, and it's not very big. Okay, this one is called Cats and Quilts, number 2. This is by Canterbury Designs. This cat is very realistic. I love the colors of the orange cat and the quilt in the background. So pretty. And it's charted in DMC, and the symbols are computer generated. So yeah, this would not be bad. This one has quite a few cats, called Loyal Friends Cats by, down here it says, the City Stitcher. So you have a lot of different options here. Yeah, it looks like, these are the same design. They just changed the colors, to match what your cat might look like. Yeah, so now there are two cat patterns from Dragon Dreams. Usually I think they did more fantasy, but I guess they also did some cats. This one's called the Romantic Felines. Very nice. And then the other one I have is called Window Kitties, also by Dragon Dreams, and here's what they look like. This looks like probably a reproduction of some sort. It's called Ginger Kitty, Merrily A Beams. So probably taken from a historical sampler, or at least portions of it, something like that. Yeah, this one's older. I think this was from, oh, it says 1990, so yeah, this one's on the older side. Stitcher's Habit, A Tale of Two Kitties. And this cat, so they're in communication with each other somehow. Um Not very big. And yeah, charted in DMC. There's a few from Imaginating. This one's my favorite. Moose Cats. I have a guest room slash laundry room that's like winter lodge theme. I already stitched a moose for in there. So I might have to do these just because it would be funny to put them in that room too. Because the cats are wearing like moose antlers, and I don't know. It's weird. And the mouse. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So this one's my favorite. I might actually take the time to stitch this one. This one is called Hooping It Up. So this one's stitching themed. So lots of details. And I think this is the last one. What picnic? I mean, this looks like it's probably the biggest one out of those. You got 3 cats, you got a mouse, bird, butterfly, and then there's also a ladybug. And that ladybug might be my favorite part. There's a couple of these something special booklets. This one's just called Holly's Cats 2. So I wonder if these are based on real pet cats, because it says Holly's Cats, designed by Holly Martin. So I don't know. But you get a lot of cats. And then on the back, there's a couple other ones. The white cat. And then this playful cat. The other something special booklet is called the Siamese Cat Collection. So obviously you get a lot of different Siamese. I think there's different ones on the back. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to show this one because of this Christmas stocking. I love that. That is so cute. But yeah, you get a little bit more whimsical ones. Um, the ones on the front were very realistic, and then I feel like these are a little bit more whimsical. Cat and the butterfly. So there's a lot of patterns in here. These are hand-drawn symbols. Yeah, I think these something special books, they're pretty old, so hand-drawn. This is the DMC brand. Oh wait, no, it's Perman of Copenhagen down here. And yeah, this is, I don't, does it have a name? It's just called Cats. And then there's the leaflet number. So these cats are up to no good. They knocked over the plants, they made a mess, and now they're in cahoots. I do love this floral border. That's really nice. So yeah. I don't see a year on this. Okay, there's a couple of like blackwork patterns that I just thought were really neat. I've never tried this style. So this is from Laura Perrin Designs. And then you get the calico cat and the china dog. Yeah, I bet these will look so delicate and pretty stitched. Yeah, looks like DMC and Krynic. And here's one more blackwork style. Perfect Spots by Nan. Called the Pink Cat. This is from 1997. So yeah, this estate was mostly mid 90s, early 2000s. There were a couple of French patterns of cats, which I really like. This one's called La Fête des Chats, which I guess just means Festival of Chats or of Cats. Um, so lots of hearts. Looks like they did it, or supposed to be done in red, but whatever color you want. Isabelle Vautier. So, not familiar with that brand, but this is very pretty. And then the other one that I have by the same designer is Maison des Chats, so House of Cats. I posted about this to Instagram because I was like, oh, I can't figure out what this says. And somebody messaged me and was like, it's the alphabet. So it's funny because they have the French word for cat in there with the C capitalized, which I think threw me off. But the rest of it is literally just the alphabet. Um so that solved that little mystery. I felt really stupid. But uh so very similar in style to that other one that I just showed. It looks like this is maybe two-tone, two colors, two or three colors. But I do like this one. Yeah, the instructions here are all in French. And I think this is the last one I brought out. Not French. This is just a leaflet, Lynn's Butterfly Collection called Watercolor Cats. So I believe these are based on actual paintings because they put one of them on the back here. One of the watercolors. So these are really pretty. Yeah. So these are hand-drawn symbols. Um, yeah, there are even more cats in this collection. I don't think I'm ever going to have to buy another cat pattern because I have so many. But I think I've in total I'm probably close to an hour now or something. So I think I'll stop here for this flip through. Once again, thank you for stopping by. And I hope you found something interesting in this very eclectic lot of cross stitch. Please tune in to my next regular floss tube, which should be, I hope, like in a couple weeks. And until then, happy stitching. Bye.